Welcome to Creativity, Innovation and Leadership, Unit number 4, Battles for Standards and Design Dominance. Let's start with a case study. This case study is present on page number 70 in your book. Please make sure that you read this case study in detail and answer the following questions. I will just present an overview of this case study. The rise of Microsoft. In 1980, Microsoft didn't have a personal computer operating system. The dominant design system was CP/M, written and sold by Gary Kittle through his company Digital Research. As the market of personal computers grew and IBM realized they were missing out on what might be a significant industry, they rushed to get a PC to the market. Kindle, for some unclear reason, did not get back to IBM fast enough. They turned to Bill Gates, who was already writing a software for IBM. Gates bought an operating system from Seattle Computer Company and called it MS-DOS. It was a clone of CP/M. The success of IBM PCs and other PCs resulted in the rapid spread of MS-DOS and an even more rapid proliferation of software applications designed to run on MS-DOS. Microsoft's Windows was later bundled with and eventually replaced MS-DOS. Had Gary Kendall signed with IBM, or had no other companies not been able to clone the IBM PC, the software industry might look very different today. The discussion questions and the questions that you need to answer are: what factors led to Microsoft's emergence as the dominant personal computer operating system provider? Is Microsoft's dominance due to luck, skill, or some combination of both? Question number 2. How might the computing industry look different if Gary Kittle had signed with IBM? Number 3. Does having a dominant design in operating system benefit or hurt consumers? Does it benefit or hurt computer hardware producers? Please make sure you read this case study on page number 70 in detail and answer these 3 questions. Let's move on. Why dominant designs are selected? Increasing returns to adoption. When a technology becomes more valuable, the more it is adopted. The more that technology is used, the more it is understood and thus improved. So revenues generated can be used to further develop and refine the technology. As technology becomes more widely adopted, complementary assets are more often developed that are specialized to operate with the technology. This results in a self-reinforcing mechanism that increases the dominance of a technology regardless of its superiority or inferiority in competing technologies. The 2 primary sources of increasing returns to adoption are learning effects and network externalities. The learning curve. As a technology is used, producers learn to make it more efficient and effective, often with reduced input costs or waste rates. Figure A shows that the cost of producing a unit falls as the number of units produced increases. Figure B shows that the performance of each unit improves as more units are produced. This pattern has been found to be consistent across a wide range of products and services, including automobiles, ships, semiconductors, medical drugs, and even heart surgery techniques. Prior learning and absorptive capacity. A firm's prior experience influences its ability to recognize and utilize new information. Use of a particular technology builds knowledge base about that technology. Even failures can provide useful learning experience and build a base of knowledge for future use. The knowledge base helps firms use and improve technology. It suggests that technologies adopted earlier than others are likely to become more developed, making it difficult for other technologies or companies to catch up. As the technology becomes more widely adopted, complementary assets are often developed that are specialized to operate with that technology. This results in a self-reinforcing mechanism that increases the dominance of a technology regardless of its superiority or inferiority to competing technologies. Network externalities or positive consumption externalities. In markets with network externalities, the benefits from using a good increases with the number of other users of the same goods. Network externalities are common in industries that are physically networked, for example, railroads or telecommunication. Network externalities are also arisen when compatibility or complementary goods are important. For example, many people choose to use Windows in order to maximize the number of people their files are compatible with and the range of software applications they can use. A technology with a large installed base attracts developers of complementary goods. A technology with a wide range of complementary goods attracts users, increasing the installed base. And this is the self-reinforcing cycle. For example, Microsoft's dominance of the operating system market and the GUI market is due to the early adoption of their product, which led to a large install base and the development of complementary products. This further increased the install base and reinforced the cycle. Theory in action. A standards battle in digital audio format. In 1982, Sony and Philips jointly developed the CD that replaced the vinyl LP and split the royalties. In late 1990s, CD market was saturated and they were looking for new audio format for continued growth of the market and prevent music piracy. In 1996, the record companies and electronics companies joined together to form the DVD Audio Consortium to create a new high-fidelity audio format. In 1999, Sony and Philips unveiled their own high-fidelity audio format, Super Audio CD, setting the stage for a high-standard battle similar to VHS versus beta battle in video recorders. Fearing a format war that would select one standard as dominant and the other one as failed, many manufacturers decided to bear the cost of producing universal players that would support both formats. Neither format has been extremely successful, and the popularity of MP3 format further dampened their demand. Government regulations. Sometimes the consumer welfare benefits of having a single dominant design prompts government organizations to intervene, imposing a standard. For example, in 1953, the Federal Communication Commission US, also known as FCC, approved the National Television System Committee NTSC colored standard in television broadcasting to ensure compatibility to monochrome TV sets broadcasting in the US. In 1998, European Union adopted a single wireless telephone standard, the General Standard for Mobile Communication, also known as GSM, to avoid proliferation of incompatible standards and facilitate exchange within and between member countries. Another standard could be the wireless internet standard. Wherever you go, if you have a device, you are able to connect to the internet whether you are in Pakistan or any other country. That is because the wireless internet has the same standard everywhere. The result, winner takes all markets. Natural monopolies. Firms supporting winning technologies earn huge rewards. Others may be locked out. Increasing returns to adoption indicate that technology trajectories are characterized by path dependency. End results depend greatly on the events that took place leading up to the outcome. Early technology offerings may become entrenched and block subsequent superior technologies from being accepted. Aggressive sponsorship by a large and powerful firm may ensure acceptance but lock out alternatives. A dominant design can have far-reaching influence. It shapes future technological inquiry in that area. Firms will tend to use and build on their existing knowledge base rather than enter unfamiliar areas. Winner takes all markets can have very different competitive dynamics than other markets. Technologically superior products do not always win. Such markets require different firm strategies for success than markets with less pressure from a single dominant design. Winner knows how to manage multiple dimensions of value that shape design selection. In many increasing returns industries, the rate of return from a product or process increases with the size of its installed base. The value of a technology is strongly influenced by both the technological standalone value and network externalities. The installed base refers to the total number of people using that particular technology. A technology's standalone value includes factors such as the functions the technology enables customers to perform, its aesthetic qualities, its ease of use, etc. Kim and Mowon developed a buyer utility map that provides a guide for managers to consider multiple dimensions of technological value and multiple stages of consumer experience. The benefits have to be considered with respect to the cost of the consumer of obtaining or using the technology. The benefits to cost ratio determines value. Figure 4.3 presents this map, the buyer utility map, and uses the example of Honda Insight. On your x-axis, you will find different phases of consumer consumption: purchase, delivery, use, supplements, maintenance, and disposal. On your y-axis, you will find different facets that are important for a consumer while buying a particular product. For example, in this case, customer productivity, simplicity, convenience, risk, fun and image, and environmental friendliness. Please read this map carefully as it is very important. Network externalities value. In industries characterized by network externalities, the value of technological innovation to users will be a function not only of its standalone benefits and costs, but also of the value created by the size of technology's installed base and the availability of complementary goods. A new technology that has significantly more standalone functionality than the incumbent or existing technology may offer less overall value because of its smaller installed base or poor complementary goods. For example, the value of customers of using Windows operating system is due to standalone value, makes it easy to use the computer, the installed base, the number of users you can interact with, and availability of compatible software. This is what makes it difficult for operating systems that are better than Windows to gain a foothold in the market. Back in the day, the Next computers were extremely advanced technologically but could not compete with the installed base value and complementary goods of Windows-based personal computers. They were not compatible with Wintel machines, which had become the standard. To successfully overthrow an existing dominant technology, new technology must offer either a dramatic technological improvement. For example, in case of video game consoles, it has taken 3 times performance of the incumbent technology. Greater standalone value is not enough, there needs to be greater overall value. Figure 4.4 shows the components of value. Figure A represents combined value of standalone technology, installed base, and complementary goods offered by an existing technology. Figure B shows new technology competes only on value of its standalone utility. Figure C shows new technology that is compatible with existing technology's installed base and complementary goods. And if you look at the top, there is only a small value, a marginal value of new technology. When comparing the value of a new technology to an existing one, users are weighing a combination of objective information, which is the actual benefits, installed base, and complementary goods, subjective information, which is perceived benefits, perceived install base, and perceived complementary goods, and expectations, which are anticipated benefits, anticipated install base, and anticipated complementary goods. These three may or may not be proportional. For example, perceived install base may be greater than actual. How is this accomplished? Marketing, stretching the truth, which is also known as vaporware. Vaporware are products that are not actually on the market and may not even exist but are advertised. This figure shows the actual, perceived, and expected components of value. Please study this carefully, even refer to your book if you need further explanation. When customer requirements for network externality values are satiated at lower levels of the market share, more than one dominant design may thrive. This may be the case in the video game console industry, while a larger market share may increase network externalities so that customers have more games and more people to play against. Those benefits can be achieved without attaining a majority of the market. Sony has a majority share of the US video game market, and neither Nintendo's GameCube nor Microsoft's Xbox has greater than 20% of the market. Yet, there is still an abundance of game titles for all three consoles and a significant pool of people to play games against. Such markets may not experience great pressure to select a single dominant design. Multiple platforms may successfully exist. Are winner-takes-all markets good or bad for consumers? Economics emphasizes the benefits of competition. However, network externalities suggest users sometimes get more value when one technology dominates. Some would agree that Microsoft has clearly engaged in anti-competitive behavior in its quest to dominate the PC operating system market. Others would counter that its overwhelming market share has created greater compatibility among computers and software applications. How can regulatory board determine if a firm has become too dominant? One way is to compare the network externalities return to market share, value customers reap by more people using the same product, with corresponding monopoly costs, which are the benefits company gets when their product is dominant. Network externality benefits to consumers rise with cumulative market share, greater availability of complementary goods, more compatibility among users, more revenue that can be channeled into further developing the technology. Monopoly costs to consumers also rise with cumulative market share, price gouging, restricted product variety, product innovation may be stifled or purposely delayed. Network externality returns to market share often exhibit an S-shaped curve. Monopoly costs to market share are exponentially increasing. The two costs trade off against each other. Where monopoly costs exceed network externality benefits, intervention may be warned. Optimal market share is at a point where these lines cross. A firm can choose not to charge the highest price the market will bear. Some say that Microsoft does not charge the maximum price on Windows OS, but they are able to control the evolution of the market by selectively aiding some suppliers or complementers more than others. This marks the end of unit number 5. Thank you.